All right, a live look right now at 295 in Mandarin, where new express toll lanes will open before summer. But tonight, there are serious questions about how the agency you'll pay to drive on those roads and is spending taxpayer money.
Action News Jax investigator Ben Becker uncovered a deal that not even our local lawmakers knew about, and why the toll roads are back even though local voters fought to get rid of them.
Toll roads, express lanes. More than 700 miles of them in Florida bring in $1 billion a year from drivers like Tim McGill.
Scam way to make money for the government.
Over FaceTime, McGill told me how he and his wife accidentally drove on a SunPass toll road in Tampa and got this bill for 54 cents.
We just thought it was a terrible misuse of government funds to waste time and money.
The cost to print and mail the ticket more than the amount itself. Jacksonville's new toll roads are set to open as massive billing errors force Florida's governor to suspend all fees and penalties. Phase 1 of the First Coast Expressway, the Town Center Express lanes, and Mandarin Express lanes cost taxpayers about $437 million. That money comes from a state bond program, which is paid back through tolls. In 1988, Jacksonville voters got rid of tolls in exchange for a half-cent sales tax. But local referendums don't apply to FDOT. I spent the last month digging into how the agency spends taxpayer dollars and found these multi-million-dollar contracts to advertise with sports teams, including the Jaguars. Records show SunPass spent $2.3 million with the Jags going back to 2015. And that's not all. The Orlando Magic got slightly more than $2 million. Another $2 million went to both Orlando soccer teams. SunPass even spent about $1 million advertising with the Florida State University Athletics Department. That's nearly $6.5 million in all to advertise a state agency with no competition. Florida's Turnpike Enterprise runs every FDOT-owned and operated toll road. When I asked for an interview, Executive Director and CEO Paul Way refused, a spokesperson saying Secretary Way has a standing request with me to never do interviews. So we drove 2 hours to the agency's Orlando headquarters. Way's schedule said he'd be there, and we waited almost 5 hours, but his parking spot remained empty.
Hi, can I help you?
Inside, the receptionist told me,
Unfortunately, he is not available.
a week after not getting answers in Orlando, I came here to Tallahassee in the state capital to speak with state lawmakers about SunPass and its spending. Fleming Island Senator Rob Bradley, chairman of the Senate Appropriations Committee, admitted to me he had never heard of the SunPass ad contracts and had this to say about its CEO refusing an on-camera interview.
That's not acceptable for somebody to refuse to answer questions from somebody like yourself who has questions about expenditures.
3 weeks after my first email, Florida's Turnpike Enterprise still hasn't answered my questions about spending. Senate Minority Leader Audrey Gibson of Jacksonville questions why SunPass needs to advertise at all.
The sign is there on the interstate. That is your marketing.
Governments traditionally use a gas tax to pay for new roads, but cars are more fuel efficient and revenues are down. Many drivers, like Tim McGill, see tolls as nothing more than a de facto tax.
All of the taxes combined, it just adds up.
In 2015, Visit Florida, which is a state agency, was widely criticized for paying rapper Pitbull $1 million to market tourism in Florida. There's a move now by House lawmakers to strip the agency of its funding. To learn more about additional toll roads planned for Northeast Florida, go to actionnewsjax.com. Ben Becker, CBS 47, Action News Jax.